Hello students, welcome to the second lecture, that is on our chapter of electric propulsion. In this chapter we are going to learn about the motors or the propulsive factor that is required, the component which is required for our power that is coming from the battery, or we can say the energy storage that we are using. We can use either battery, ultra capacitor, high speed flywheels, all the energy storage devices that we have seen until now, right? So that power needs to be sent further, and that has to be converted into the mechanical energy, right? The power that is being generated is in the electrical energy, and that electrical energy needs to be converted into the mechanical energy. That will be done by the help of the electric motor. The motors that we are going to see and the motors that we actually use, that we will see in this. First, before going towards the motor, there are some devices that we are using in between our battery and motor, right? The power from the battery directly cannot be supplied to the motor or the generator that we are using in our vehicle, right? It has to be sent through power electronics, right? For the power electronics, there are two things. First is the power devices that is being connected, and then power devices supplies the power to our power converter that converts the power up to our required level, right? That required level power, after converting or after compressing or amplifying according to the requirement of the motor, further it will be supplied to the motor. So now in the case of the power electronics, there are some requirements that needs to be fulfilled before we can supply our current or the voltage to our electric motor. So for that, first the ratings, the rating of the battery, the rating of the motor that requires the amount of the power, the current and the voltage rating that is required for our electric motor will be programmed inside our power devices, and according to that the battery current will be further supplied to our vehicle. Next is the switching frequency, right? The frequency that needs to be switched according to the requirement or according to the load on the vehicle. Depending on the load, the frequency that is coming from the battery will be converted for the requirement of our electric motor. Next is the power losses. Now these components, these power electric components are an extra components, and then we are supplying the power from it, such as in case of the petrol diesel engine, there is propeller shaft, there is differential. These are an extra transmission components. This can also be considered as a transmission component as well. So in that case, the losses in between the battery and the electric motor should be kept minimum, right? The losses should not be too much that the power from the battery does not get eventually supplied to our motor and it get lost in between the power electronics. So the losses in the power converter should be as low as possible. Then the base gate drivability, which means the base drivability of the vehicle should be proper by using this power electronics, which means that whenever we want an higher speed of the vehicle, so at that instant the power electronics should be able to supply higher amount of the current to our electric motor, so that the motor can be rotated at a higher speed, and because of that the vehicle will get an higher speed. So this is a basic requirement, that the feedback, or we can say the reaction of the power electronics should be higher. Next is the dynamic characteristics, right? The characteristics of the vehicle, characteristics of the motors, the dynamic functions that coming from the battery. Whenever there is a higher amount of the voltage, then it should work as a fuse as well, so that the further components of our electric vehicle does not get damaged. Ruggedness, which means that it should be able to operate at all the conditions, right? Higher temperature, at a higher voltage, it should not get fused or it should not get burnt if the current or voltage is higher from the battery, right? So it should be able to operate at all the conditions. And at the end, the maturity and cost. The cost, as we all know, should be as low as possible. The cost is a little bit of higher factor right now. And the maturity, which means that the power electronics that we are using, we should have all the knowledge about it and how it is going to work if we are using that particular power electronic in our vehicle. Next are the power converters, right? The power converters are working as an rectifier, right? It rectifies the amount of the current that is being coming from the battery, and the required amount of the current will only be further supplied to our electric motor, right? So there are basically two types of the power converters that we are actually using from it. One is the DC to DC converter, that is also known as the DC chopper, and the second one is the DC to AC converter. It is also known as inverter. So if we are talking about the chopper, it is DC to DC converter. If we are talking about the DC to AC, then it is an inverter. First figure you can see is the 4-quadrant DC chopper, in which you can see that diodes has been attached at the 4 different quadrants. In between them we have attached our motor with our field winding, right? In the second case you can see that 3-phase full bridge, which means 6-quadrant voltage fed inverter, in which the voltage will be fed inside the inverter by supplying through our 6 diodes that are connected inside our power converter, right? So basic function of the power converter is to control or is to regulate the amount of the current that is coming from the battery. Next thing are the control strategies that needs to be kept or needs to be programmed inside our vehicle. We have almost seen about all those control strategies in the chapter that we saw about the CAN, that is controller area network, in which we saw about the control strategies that needs to be followed in case of the controlling the components inside the electric vehicle, or we can say the propulsion system of the vehicle needs to be controlled properly by the help of these different strategies. Now these are some of the basic types of the strategies that can be used to control our electric motor, or we can say electric machine, right? For that, the first one you can see is the adaptive control method. In the case of the adaptive control method, you can see there are basically two types. One is the self-turning control and second one is the MRAC, that is model referencing adaptive control. In the case of the adaptive control, it controls the situation, and according to the different conditions it gets adaptive. It adapts to the different situation, right? The word that suggests the adaptive control, it means that it adapts to the different conditions of the vehicle, or we can say the driving conditions, or we can say the load on the vehicle. According to the different condition, it adapts and gets the required feedback or the required amount of the output that is been required from our electric propulsion system. Self-turning control gives you the turning which is been done by the controlling method. Second one is the variable structure control, that is VSC. In the case of the variable structure control, it gives you the independence, or it gives you the facility to use the adaptive control in case of the VSC as well. It gives you the advantage of the different structure that we are going to use in the vehicle as well. Now basic to two consideration or basic two methods for the control that are being used, and also the future prospect as well, is first one the fuzzy logic, and the second one is the NNC, that is neural network control. In the case of the fuzzy logic, we saw how they are using, how the logic is being inserted inside the controlling system, how we have programmed the questions and answers, that if the condition is this, then the output should be that. Right, for example, if I want to slow down my vehicle, right, for that I will apply the brakes. But with the applying of the brake, the electric motor, the speed of the electric motor should reduce at that time. Otherwise, what will happen is that the power is reducing, which means we are decelerating the vehicle. So vehicle is not requiring the power at that time. So that the power of the DC motor will be wasted if the speed of the DC motor we are not reducing. So if that thing can be controlled with our logic system, that will be easier. We will optimize the power as well. So fuzzy logic does that. Same in the case of the neural network control, is that we have programmed it for the numerical programs as well. Also, for the future prospects, right now we are developing a system that works on the artificial intelligence. Right, the artificial intelligence will take over all these systems, and after taking in the consideration of the AI system, that artificial intelligence will, as we know, have an higher end from all this control system, and if that system is developed, can be easily used in the vehicle. No doubt it will be somewhat costlier, but it will almost be 100% optimum and accurate and precise control system for our vehicle. So these are the basic power devices and the control strategies that needs to be implemented in our electric propulsion system and our normal electric vehicle as well. In the next lecture, we will see about the types of the electric motors, and we will see in very brief about the different configuration and the control of those motors. Until then, thank you so much.